So we tried this before, and there was a problem. My dumbass forgot to check to make sure that the audio interface was properly on and working and everything. Thankfully, Nick noticed it before we got too deep into the video. But before we recorded, before we started doing a reaction, we actually had a discussion, talking about a couple things. First, we'll talk about the one that's, the oldest thing, in terms of, like, people talking to us and everything. Let's see. It was the whole thing where people got mad at us because we reacted to the incognito mode video early, or we posted our reaction before the 2-day thing. Well, here was the thing. I wasn't sure if the 2-day thing applied to the incognito mode videos because there was no 2-day thing on at the beginning of the video, much like how there is in this one, or in the previous one, the very first one of this series. So I wasn't sure about that, but I guess moving forward, I don't know. Maybe we'll do I guess we'll do the 2 days for the whole thing, and then the much bigger story, like that would have been precedence, but the much bigger thing, the much more important thing, I guess, would be the fact that Internet Historian is in a little bit of deep trouble. It would seem that his video, Man in Cave, got flagged for copyright because of plagiarism. And going back and watching the video by H-Bomber Guy, with his video, Plagiarism and YouTube, there was a 25-minute segment dedicated almost entirely to Internet Historian and that whole incident, and it showed word for word how he had basically read verbatim, in a lot of ways, a lot of the stuff from the article for the hour-by-hour coverage of the Man in Cave incident. So when he took the video down and he redid it, republished it and everything, it originally was up, but then it became unlisted, and then he
went back up unlisted.
Yeah, it came back up from unlisted whenever he started posting these newer videos. And here was the problem with that plagiarism claim. It was not only legitimate, but it was irrefutable. It was basically just an article by what is it? Mental Floss. Yes. I can't remember the artist. I used to watch Mental Floss a lot because that was Hank Green. Hank and John. Hank and John Green both did did videos for that series. But basically it was just mental facts, historical stories and stuff like that. And, well...
And now if you go back and watch the re-uploaded version of Man in Cave, that article and the original writer are credited in it. And he's changed it to be not word for word from the article.
Yes.
But originally, he didn't do that.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm glad that he credited the original, the original artist of the article and everything, or the original writer of the article and everything. And I'm glad that he did that, but just him not doing that in the beginning and him not saying anything about it. I know there's a lot of people out there who would have a bad taste in their mouth about that. Here's my thing. I am all about second chances. And Internet Historian has proven himself time and time and time again to be a very talented content creator on this platform. I mean, the videos that he's done from the Shia LaBeouf series, Cost of Concordia, the No Man's Sky video, so many great videos have come from him. Yeah, Fall of 76, that's another really good one. But the problem is, with him being caught in that way, it casts doubt now for a lot of people. A lot of people are unsure what to feel about Internet Historian, and the fact that he hasn't come out and said anything about it, basically, it's just made a lot of people uneasy. And I would say the reason why he hasn't come out and said anything about it is because this is a time where he's really busy, and he's trying to produce a lot of videos to take advantage of the, of like the fact that it's the holiday season, and this is a time where he's actually probably going to turn a profit. But the thing is, I would say after New Year's and after it's all said and done, I hope that he addresses this, and I hope that something is said about it that will cast light on it, and hopefully he will make amends for it. We will see. I know there's people out there who are probably going to be like, oh, a reaction channel telling us about fair use and copyright and plagiarism and all that. Look, here's the thing that we have never done. We have never, ever claimed that the videos that we are watching belong to us. Never. Not once. We always give credit where credit is due. We always credit the original. We always leave a link to the original video in the description. And ever since YouTube started allowing us to put the name of the channel in the title of the video, we always put it there. So that way people know where the original comes from. We don't want to be one of these channels out here that literally just takes a video and then puts themselves see, originally I wanted to do something like this where we would be up in the corners. You can see my hands. But also you can see, yes, starring guitar, specifically a 12-string Fender guitar. Yeah, but I didn't want to be like that. Instead, I want the focal point of the videos to be us doing a reaction. That's it. And also, I'm going to be switching it up a little bit because I've got little things here where I can switch to me, switch to Nick, switch to guitar, whenever he has something to say. That's a good point, guitar. Well said, well said. But, anyway. Internet Historian has always been one of my favorite content creators, and this does blemish his reputation, in my opinion, for a little, to a certain degree. But things can be made right, and hopefully he can make amends and make things right.
Hopefully he doesn't do it again.
Yes. And plus, if he was plagiarizing the other videos were plagiarism and all that, I guarantee you we'd have heard about it by now. Because with the magnifying glass out there right now, and people investigating it, we would have heard about it by now. And if it does come out, then there we go. I guess that's just that. But anyway, too fancy, too furious, wine. How about we just go ahead and get into this? It was shorter this time, because the first time we did this, I remember looking down there and seeing it was at about 12 minutes. Now I think it's at 8 minutes. Much better this time.
Oh, I just want to re-add.
Go ahead.
Just in case, Internet Historian, you happen to see this, I feel like you could have avoided the entire situation just by titling that video a dramatic retelling of the Floyd story as written by and crediting the original article, and due to your animations and everything you add to it, it would have fallen completely into fair use even if you did read the passages from the article several times as you went through it.
Yes.
Because it would have been given credit. And I feel like that's where you slipped up.
Yeah, but
once in the future, if you want to do something like that, just do it that way.
Yeah.
That would make
well,
that would make
well,
so
we're
much
looking
more
at it
sense
from a very from hindsight's always 2020.
Yeah.
But in the future, just hopefully situations like this can be avoided.
I know he's talented and funny because we watch on incognito mode him just talking with his friends, and they're entertaining and hilarious.
Oh, dude, it's awesome.
It's not like my mind immediately went to is he only funny because he plagiarizes everything? And I'm like, no, that can't be the case.
Absolutely not.
That's already been proven to be false. And as far as people have said, this was the only time that apparently he did that. So he goofed this time real bad.
Yes.
And I hope he apologizes for it, because that would be nice.
And also, Internet Historian, we love you, dude. We want to see you keep making videos. And speaking of, we might as well go ahead and give this another go through. We were a little bit into this video when we first tried to react to it, so we're just going to start it up again. This is already after we've reacted to the other videos we were going to record tonight. Anyway, here we go.
Yeah, he said wait
Could be a
48
little
hours
fella.
on this one actually.
Yes,
So,
but it wasn't on the previous one on Incognito.
Incognito, it wasn't on there.
No.
He
And-
may only be referring to the main channel videos.
And if that's the case, okay, but I know there's people out there who got really mad about that. It's like, if Internet Historian wanted that to be the case on all of the videos, I think he would have put it on all the videos. Just my thoughts.
I want to tell you a secret. I'm just like you.
I don't believe you.
We're both down here in the dirt. Mine just happens to be imported.
He's sitting on dirt from Italy. We're sitting on chairs from Italy.
Yeah.
He's
Fine.
got something here.
Fine, rich Napa leather. Just so, spankably nice.
Squishy.
Yes. Also, these little things here, I can't wait to get the little tray things so that we can...
For now, it's a good fidget thing with me because I push it with my pinky.
Hee.
Fidgeting.
I know what you mean. Anyway.
You are fighting in traffic, and I am fighting charges of trafficking. We're so similar. You're working a 9-to-5 job, and I am having to look at that. We're both going through it. So don't hate me. I'm not the problem. It's the wine snobs. They're the ones that look down on you.
Frankly,
I don't blame him. No, he's learning. Listen, let me pull you up by your bootstraps. What
I'm wearing slip-ons.
if I made you my little Pygmalion? That's a reference that you wouldn't get.
That
You
is
know what?
correct.
Perhaps
I've heard of Pygmalion before, but I don't know the reference. I don't know the point of origin.
I shall make a series of videos that will give you some sort of clue about fancy things. Yes, that's what I'll do. Something to give you just enough information to bluff your way
You
through.
do
a
like cigars.
Oh, I love cigars. I got a personal humidor upstairs, which, may or may not have cigars in there that were recommended by the one Poppy Rick.
fancy dinner.
Did you know that Da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa?
Somebody had to hold open the gates for the barbarians. Why not me? So let's do it. Let's look at wine. The Mountain Dew of upper society. With wine, there is only one rule. Kill or be killed.
Ha! Joke's on you. I'm already dead.
And if you want to survive the night, here
That was good. I should have stayed dead a little bit longer. But I started moving right as you hit the button. I was like, oh, damn it. That would have been perfect.
are 6 things you should know about wine. To you muggles, the words on these bottles must seem like a mystery.
Wow.
ire?
But us landlords,
Wow.
the pink Himalayan salt
Bannockburn. No, it's not Bannockburn. It's Bannockburn. I was like, you daft.
Burn your bannock.
Oh, burn your bonnet, you bastard. Sorry. I'm going... Where have I heard Bannockburn before? That was from a movie. I can't remember.
of the earth.
Blood.
We
I'm
know
old.
what they mean. They are grape names. Look upon this grapevine. It makes grape berries. Now, there are many different species of grape berry. And whatever the berry species is will determine the type of
This
wine.
is something I didn't realize before. Was that they were referring to the type of grape whenever they were referring to the type of wine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually, there's a lot of wines that have that on the front of it. You know, they'll have, the specific breed of the grape on the front so that you can see, so that's what they mean.
It makes sense when you start to realize what the point of other alcohol and why it's called what it is
Yeah.
is essentially all your other base spirits that I've learned a lot about from home bartending, research essentially. They're called what they are because it's referring to what they're made from.
Yeah.
So vodka is a potato liquor, essentially.
Yes.
Rye is rye, made from rye. Cognac, or specifically brandy, is usually made from a fruit.
Yes.
Gin is made from like herbals and stuff. And yeah, so.
This is Chardonnay, so it will make Chardonnay. Merlot grapes, they make
Actually don't know what
Merlot
rum's
wine.
made from.
Rum is basically made from like sugar. It's like made from sugars that are mixed in with various fruits and stuff like that.
Yeah, others like are usually more like tropical fruits.
Well, basically, rum.
Banana.
Rum was like
Anything from-
the slaves were the ones that made rum. They made it from basically like the wasted fruits and stuff like that were like mashed up and everything, and it got fermented, and then when it got fermented, they distilled it and diluted it, and it became rum.
Grape names are mostly French. Gross. But for example, in English, Pinot Noir means black pine, because it kinda looks like a black pine cone, if you squint.
Yeah.
Here's some of the other names. You can pause it. I'm busy.
Little black
Wine grapes are not
Yeah. Blackbird.
like the kind you get at the supermarket. Those are table grapes. You can think of it kind of like the difference between cooking chocolate and regular chocolate.
Yes. I made the mistake one time. You know that Hershey's like cacao powder, like the unflavored, unsweetened cacao powder? I thought that was Nesquik mix one
Trying
time.
to make chalky milk with it.
I
You
ruined
just
it.
ended up making a glass of dirt milk.
I ruined a glass of milk.
When you made a glass of caffeinated milk, it just probably didn't taste very good.
Yeah.
Can eat them. Ugh. But they're overly sugary and kind of full of seeds and just
Yeah.
not as nice to snack on. So the grape type is the main word on the bottle, but sometimes there are other words as well. For example, this Bourgogne.
Bourgogne.
What the hell is a Chablis?
Chablis?
It's all regions. Allow me to explain through the medium of song. There's Chianti and Piedmont, and also there's Burgundy. Don't forget Chablis Bordeaux. This one's from Italy, this one's from Italy, this one's from France, this one's from France, this one's from France, this one's from France. They're all from France. We're Italy. Look.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic Dominican. Yeah, that song.
Then fuck you.
There's fuck you and fuck you. Sorry. Yeah. So, the fact that Robert Paulson can still recite that song from memory blows my freaking mind. That man's a treasure. I hope he lives forever.
Look, the general rule is, if you see a term you don't understand, it's probably just the French or the Italians being all la-dee-da about their particular region. Alright, let's move on to price. Come on, I know a place. Ah, we're here. I can tell by the name on the sign.
Discount
Now,
liquor
don't
store.
embarrass
Absolutely.
me, I didn't bring my ID. Fiddle-TD, look at all these bottles. So many options. Ooh, a cheeky $200 bottle. And here, oh, a $20 bottle. I
Yeah.
bet this $200 bottle tastes way better, right? Like it's got to be 10 times better than this one. That's just basic math. Go on, though. You choose one. Oh, no.
Yes.
Well, it was supposed to be a trick question, but...
Because you said previously you'd like to get into wine and stuff like that. Honestly, I wouldn't mind doing like a thing where like every month we buy like a bottle of wine and like try it out, see how we feel about it,
There's
if we
also
like it.
subscription boxes for that as well.
Yeah.
I can
What-
get a code from if he's still doing it, Educated Barfly, because he had a sponsorship from him for a while.
Nice. Honestly, I wouldn't mind doing that because I'll just be honest. That stuff does interest me too. And if we find a vintage that we really like, we'll keep it. Yeah, we'll keep getting it, and we'll just enjoy some fine wine and some cheese and perhaps a cigar to go with it.
They both taste pretty similar.
Also, some leafy greens that really slaps. Yeah, that's a kind of herbal remedy that Nick has been partaking in. He really likes it.
All right.
Except when I do too much.
There's
of
not
it.
some
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
threshold that you get to where it gets more expensive and then it tastes better, and then more expensive again and it tastes even better, until it gets so expensive and so incredible that it's like nothing you've ever had before. Break through the conditioning. This is just old grape juice.
Alcoholic
Now,
grape
if you're
juice.
a little bi-curious about a more expensive bottle, sure, why not?
Gold letters grace the label, hand engraved by goldsmiths.
Oh my gosh. 2009 Chateau Margaux. Premier Grand Cru class.
Famed wine critics described the taste as mind-boggling.
But realistically, after about $60, the flavor doesn't get much better. In fact, it plateaus out and it can even go down.
Source. I made it up. Also, do more expensive wines taste better? Evidence, arsenal, a blind taste test, wine prices, quality ratings, and meta-regression analysis. Damn.
The best quality to price ratio is all the way over here, much lower, about $20. That's how much you should spend on a bottle of wine. Now, some people will say
that I'm putting my heart and soul into this thing. I'm making a form of art.
Yeah. We aren't making a reaction video. We're making an experience. Like nothing you've ever seen before. And you know what? We can believe that. But do you believe that? No, this is just a reaction video.
How much is that worth? How much is art worth?
about $20. But
Yes.
what about the Vintage? Well, look at this. A couple of cromulent slender necks. And they're the same price as well. But this one is from 2019, and this one is from 2022. Well, surely the older one is the better one, right? No. Many people think that wine aging goes like this, and the flavor
No.
just keeps getting better over time. Wrong, wrong, wrong. The wine at the store has already been aged at the winery. I don't need to be more aged by sitting on this shelf and just collecting dust. Or spending years at the back of your
I want that outfit, the wine bottle outfit. I need to walk into a convention like that, and I'll just be like, people are like, why are you dressed up like a wine bottle? It's just like, honestly, I am the dream of every middle-aged housewife. All the middle-aged housewives wish to put their lips on me. And that, my friends, is a dream.
pantry at home.
Also, my grandparents...
Cat wheel I'm hearing? What's that?
That's the cat wheel.
Okay.
Also, another thing too,
Shelf, just collecting
My-
dust. Or spending years at the
my great grandma used to do that all the time. Like the jarring and everything, like mason jarring stuff. Oh my gosh.
back of your pantry at home. If I'm for sale, I'm ready to be consumed. I'm ready to have your hot lips wrapped around me. In fact, the general rule goes a corked bottle should be drunk within 5 years, and a capped bottle within
That
1
actually
year.
looked like the kind of wine that I've tried several times before because I like the
Should be
artwork.
drunk
What, that?
Go back a little more.
wrapped around me. In fact,
Right there.
Yes.
See? It's,
I've bought a few of those.
a pock or something. Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I just
gen-
bought it because I like the artwork.
Artwork's nice. Also, it's got a good mid-range of sweetness and bitterness to it.
general rule goes a corked bottle should be drunk within 5 years, and a capped bottle within 1 year. Come, there's more. Let's pretend I am a waiter at a restaurant. You happen to be wearing a shirt, and so I have mistaken you as a paying customer. As a waiter, the first thing I will press you about will be food pairings. White wine with fish? A Merlot with pork? Well, kid, I'm gonna have to pair this truth nugget
Can I pair my steak with some whiskey?
With something you don't want to hear. The food pairing doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's mostly bullshit.
It's all completely subjective. It's cuisine by horoscope. It's food astrology.
You know, astrology, I've had my fill of astrology. Like, there's been instances where I've just, like, there's like, are you a Capricorn? Because you really act like a Capricorn. And I'm just like, do you think I'm a Capricorn? And there's like, yeah, you give off Capricorn energy. It's like, well, joke's on you. I'm a Cancer. It's like, I knew you were a Cancer. Oh, actually, no, joke. No, I'm sorry. I'm actually a Pisces. It's like, none of this shit matters. I don't care what people say. It's like, oh, but I know someone who acts exactly the same way. It's like, okay, does that mean that every person ever born in June is going to act the exact same way that I am?
No, because it depends on your rising sign and your stuff like that as well, supposedly.
Pay no attention to the sommeliers in the comments section. They are bullshitting to upsell.
Get the more expensive one. It goes better with the spaghetti.
Or they are a Pisces and you shouldn't trust their opinion anyway. Something else to expect at a restaurant? Expect to get ripped off by the markup. Most restaurants
Every
have
time.
250 to 300% markup on their wine. And the cheaper the bottle, the higher the proportional markup tends to be. So a $20 bottle will turn into an $80 bottle, but a $100 bottle may only rise to $150. Most people get the second cheapest bottle on the menu, regardless of the pairing, and that'll do just fine. And that's it, no more tips. Unless you want to leave me one. Actually, you know what? I got a fucking tip for you, mate. Ad time.
Oh.
I bet you're wondering how I got this cog in my knee. That's because I became the face of Incogni, the service that helps you be forgotten on the internet. I used to be a humble florist. One day we received a shipment of forget-me-nots.
Swagger isn't here to make jokes about his cog and his knee thing.
You mean his gear of the knee? Mm-hmm. Oh. You know, one time I had a friend who, had a girlfriend who blew her knee out really, really bad. You know, it was they had to do a full replacement, and they had to put a cog in there and everything. But she originally was just like very apprehensive about it because before they commenced with telling her about this, she said, "Firstly, just want you to know I don't associate with knee gears." Swagger, we love you, brother, but you are towing the line very heavily.
You should probably just put that part on the Patreon.
I probably should. Oh, boy. Wow.
I wasn't going to retell the whole thing. I was just going to let people go with
I don't mind telling the
whether they
abridged
knew
version.
the reference or
I
not.
did the abridged version, man. Come on, I'm not gonna tell the whole thing because his version was like at least 2-3 minutes long.
Yeah.
And ate a bunch of them. I forgot everything that day. My address, my web browsing habits, where I worked, what my child's face looked like. I was supposed to pick him up from daycare, so that was kind of embarrassing. I just picked one of the kids.
Jake, he's asking me if he can come up and hang out and chill a little bit.
Oh,
okay. Sorry.
That kind of looks like me.
Oui, monsieur.
Close enough.
Oui, monsieur.
Have you ever signed up for some dodgy website? Have you ever dodged up for a legitimate website and they sell all your details onto a dodgy website? That's where I come in. Incogni man. And Another boy.
Je ne parle anglais pas.
There are data miners out there, data collectors, creating big servers all around the world. They take your name, your address, and your IP, and together they make a big profile, and that lives forever. I am
Mr.
here
Beast.
to send them annoying
Jimmy
legal
Boy.
notices to tell them to fuck off. Take Steve off your database. European law this, American law that. Go to incognito.com/internet store to get 60% off an annual plan. The cog signal. I swoop into the data centers. Legal notice. Tangle up their processes with admin. Who are you? I don't know.
Daggone it.
You forgot.
Oh, wait a minute. Inganokni Nam. Go to
Incogni
incogni.com/internet historian. Ah, Incogni Man. Remember me? Yes. No.
The fact that he's snickering always.
That's the best part. It's just like, it's like, do you know who I am? Yes. No. I remember the first one was when he did. The first time I noticed that was when he was doing like the No Man's Sky one. He basically was just like trying to do the Sean Murray's accent. He's like, "It is me, Sean." This accent sucks.
Kid.
Je suis très affamé, monsieur, s'il vous plaît.
Whoa, that's a good deal. And over. Welcome to the Wine Underground. We have our meetings here because it stays at a very
The
pleasant
wine
temperature.
cellar?
Yes.
You know, us wine masons, we control everything. We are few, but many.
Yes.
That doesn't make...
Big wine, dude. I swear. Big wine runs everything.
Makes sense. Look at the back of this bottle. See the No Fat Chicks logo? We put that there.
Hey, at least they stick to their principles.
Yeah. It is the symbol of our organization. We have a dirty finger in every glass of government and corporation stuff. If you cross us, whoops, perhaps you'll have a little accident. Last year, little upstart tried
If
to
you
make
cross
wine-
them, they're gonna ask you if you would like to see their cask of Amontillado.
Ooh. Wow. That's a deep cut. Edgar Allan Poe, everybody.
Wine actually tastes good. You know, like how grape soda does. Cut him up so good he had to get stitches. We caught one reporter trying to dig around into our operations. We all know how that one ended. With an airstrike.
Poor lady.
Right, my little juice box.
She got turned into a pug dog.
Yeah, she broke her collarbone from what I remember.
I'm going to let you in on a secret. Why is champagne called champagne? Well, I'll tell you.
Champagne.
It all began
In
Comes
France.
from Champagne.
Champagne. Or as Zach Brandon would call it, Champagne.
68. In the Abbey of St. Peter in northeast France,
Of course, it's the French.
there's something spooky going on. It's springtime.
Also
And in
spooky.
the cellar where they keep all the wine, bottles would suddenly, unexpectedly, explode. Now this was especially common during morning mass. Ho, that's a bad omen. Sometimes the explosions would cause little chain reactions, and bottle after bottle would break down the line, ruining the majority of the crop.
Damn.
The peasants were frightened and also parched.
Sacre Blue, les wine. What is happening?
Really?
Oh boy. Sacre Bleu, le wine.
The monks would refer to this as the devil's wine.
Le wine is cursed. Le God, he must be anger at us. We need a hero.
In walks Dom Perignon. He is just the man for the job. A Benedictine monk at the abbey. He's got a new role, the cellar master. And it's his mission to find out what the hell is going on here. So Dom starts looking at all the bottles. And what he figures out pretty quickly is that the wine itself is releasing gas. The gas builds up pressure and... why that is happening, he doesn't know. but it's his job to stop it. So he gets to work, trying all sorts of things to stop his mortal enemy. The bubbles. In the first year, he tried insisting that only the youngest grapes be picked.
Perhaps this will stop your bubbles.
And it didn't. The next year, he changed up how the grapes were pressed.
Push harder, we'll squeeze out the bubbles.
Son of a bitch. He tried picking the grapes very early in the morning and no other time. Nope. And on. The bubbles would win the battle every year. For 8 long years, he tried all sorts of different things.
Friggin' torture mission from GTA 5. Brilliant. That is how you do not use your soda stream, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
And no strategy worked. No, the bubbles. Eventually, he was at the point of almost giving up. Until one day, hey, what if the wine is still fermenting? So he takes a couple of the bottles and he opens them and, it is. We ferment the wine. Once it's done, it goes into the bottle. How does it then start fermenting again? How is that possible? And here the mystery was solved. So it turns out, in North France, they have very fast changing seasons. And owing to that, the yeast doesn't actually get time to do its job. Instead, it would get cold very quickly in the winter, and all the yeast would go dormant. Then the winemakers would go, oh, brilliant, fermentation slowed down, it must be done. They would then bottle it, and they would store it. But once summer came back around, the process would spring back to life, and carbon dioxide would build up, and... Okay, he thinks, I cannot change the climate. Perhaps I shall not win the war against the bubbles. Now, the bubbles are his enemy, and he has another enemy. The English.
Of course. Oh, France and England have been at each other's throats for, like, what, the last 1,000+ years?
Therefore, the enemy of his enemy or something. Anyway, he starts talking to the English, and he goes, hey, how do you guys stop your bottles from exploding? And the British go,
you what, mate? Core! Well, peep at how thin the bloody glass be in it. Thin glass is the problem. Thank you for using this test as speech preview. For a paid version, please go to...
Fair enough. Fair enough.
English have created new coal-fired bottles with much thicker glass. Then they put a cork in the top, and it allows them to make very foamy beer. That's right, he could just use thicker bottles and he won't have to worry about stopping the bubbles at all. So Dom goes running back to France. He's panting, he's sweating, and there's bits of brie on his shirt. He's going, better bottles, better bottles. Everyone's confused and terrified, but they give it a shot. And there it was. The people of France loved it.
I love this new style.
Even the French royals were enjoying new wine, TM. He even started adding extra yeast and sugar to really get the bubbles going. And so Dom Perignon had created what we call today champagne.
There you go.
Now, there's a 19th century marketing campaign that says the moment he uncorked his champagne for the first time, he tried it and said, come quickly, I am tasting the stars. But that's actually a myth. He never really said that.
Yeah, much like, okay, you know the term, there's a sucker born every minute? Or there's a sucker born every second. I can't remember the exact terminology of it. But there's a sucker born every minute is, everyone has always attributed it to P.T. Barnum, Barnum and Bailey Circus. P.T. Barnum never said that, but yet it's attributed to him because reasons. I don't know.
But there's still a problem. And this one, Dom cannot fix. The pulp. If you bottle wine while it's still fermenting, so that you can keep the bubbles in, you're also trapping in a bunch of dead yeast and debris and gross particles too.
Yes.
Also, it's all cloudy. No, we want it clear. We want it crystal looking. How will we ever solve this problem? Dom dies.
No.
Dom Perignon is
1805,
no more.
in walks Madame Clicquot. She's just the man for the job.
I'm also French. I have come to remove all the little beats. I will clench my teeth together and go pitu back into the bottle.
Now, Madame Clicquot was a very shrewd lady. Her husband died when she was in her early 20s.
My husband is dead. Lol.
And part of the estate she was bequeathed included a winery. She immediately got to work, making it into a successful business.
I shall invent a process called lay riddling.
Here's what you do, right? You put these bottles on a rack at a 35-degree angle with the top facing down. Every 2 days, she would give the bottle a little shake and slightly increase the angle. After 8 to 10 weeks, all of the sediment would come to rest in the neck of the bottle.
Yes. That was actually the way that they got rid of it a lot of the times originally. They would basically, like, pop it off, and then, like, the sediment would be right there, and they would, like, scrape that off, and then they would recork it.
All right, quick tangent. Did you know that when you increase the salt concentration in water, you can drop its temperature down much lower without it freezing?
Yes.
Tangent over. So she takes this sub-zero salt water and dips the neck of the bottle in there, then lets it sit until the neck freezes. Now you have a sort of frozen cork filled with all of the gross pulp, and then you simply pop off the top. And the whole thing goes shooting out as a fun prank for your friends and family. Then they add in a little more extra base wine and sugar and leave it to age. And with that, Clicquot has just created a clear, sparkling wine. And that is Ridley. And Madame Clicquot is...
The
Riddler. So Dom Perignon and...
So, I actually saw that it was a... It was a bootlegging show. I can't remember which one it was. These guys were making like a blueberry cognac stuff, and then someone had the bright idea. It's like, how about you make like a blueberry champagne? And I'm like, okay. And then they did the riddling process, and then they like showed like the cap of it, you know, that had the scum and like the yeast and stuff in it, and then you saw him like just pop it out, and then like really quickly just like cork it with a fresh top. It's a really cool process to watch.
Madame Clicquot are both credited as the godfather and godmother of champagne. Today, the Dom and Clique brands are owned by LVMH, the same parent company that owns Louis Vuitton, Tag Heuer, Tiffany & Co., Hennessy. Actually, pretty much every luxury brand.
Yes.
Interesting.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's kind of terrifying.
But
why rich is all hell?
Oh, their board probably, like, every member of their board probably owns a yacht. I would not be surprised.
It's called champagne. Well,
This
that's
is
because it comes from the
Champagne, France
Champagne
region.
region, you dummy. And anything else with bubbles is just sparkling wine.
Fair enough.
Excuse me. It's you. I was just looking out over the sunset. You know how it is. Thinking about stuff that happened in the past. I remember it all too well. It was literally 1984.
Hey, before I was born.
I was walking home with my parents from the opera.
Come on, keep up. We're nearly there.
Hey, let's take a little shortcut, they said.
We can cut through here.
We were walking down a well-lit alleyway. It was nothing but quaint restaurants and bistros. Then suddenly, a man holding a bottle of Shiraz came out of nowhere. Just a tipple, he said. I was terrified. I knew nothing about wine.
I was gonna say, are you Batman?
Go on, he said. My hands were shaking, knees weak, arms heavy.
Vomit sweating already. Mom's spaghetti.
Complex aroma, wouldn't you say? Ooh, very good tannins. Oh, really? Yep.
Can't tell the tannins from smelling of it.
Tannin. I don't know. My parents died from embarrassment right there.
I know because I did a little bit of research into tasting wine. Tannins are the aspect of the wine that gives you kind of a dry mouth feel after drinking it.
Oh,
so
interesting.
A wine with high levels of tannins will give you a very dry mouth feel after you drink it.
Interesting.
Which I'm not personally a fan of, but apparently some people like that. I don't really know why.
Me neither.
Mommy! I'm sorry, Daddy.
Just a tipple. It's too late for me, but I don't want the same thing to happen to you. That's why we have to learn about how to serve wine.
Oh boy.
So you've bought a bottle of wine to show your friends and family how successful and sophisticated you are. Did you know that Da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa? So let's go through how to serve the big three. White, red, and champagne. Let's say you've bought champagne.
Yeah, that one. That was the perfect throw that released it and just like...
Goes in the fridge. Champagne is served cold always.
Yes.
To open, peel off the foil and do not aim it at your face.
I remember the one time we had the pink champagne and I like popped the cork off and I gave the phone to Quinn to record it and Quinn just missed it whenever I popped it. I was like, no! Damn it. I was really excited.
Then twist off the metal thing. If you want people to think you're fancy, use the proper word, muselet.
Muselet.
It helps to contain the pressure. Again, don't aim this thing at your face. It's really worth repeating. The PSI inside a champagne bottle is 70 to 90. That puts it in the same league as a nail gun.
Freaking American Psycho. Nice.
So the cork comes out at about 50 miles an hour. And if you're in a house, you want to hold onto it very firmly with your hand. If you're Bezos, or you just won the Grand Prix, fling it over some ladies. But if you want to be really fancy, you can use a sword.
The saber.
This has been a tradition for a couple hundred years, popularized by Napoleon. After each victory, the army would use their sabers to crack one open for the boys. But the sword's just ceremonial. You can use pretty much any blunt object to knock off the top.
No.
Gonna ruin your phone.
A phone.
And your phone's ruined.
Ooh.
Yes. That's how powerful the PSI is. Oh, listen to him back there. Big boy snoring.
It's fish head. If it's cold, it shouldn't fizz over too much.
Yeah, that's the video I was hoping he was going to reference. That's when Rhett and Link popped the top of the champagne bottles with the slow-mo guys. That was super cool. And dude, Rhett got his just like perfect. It was like perfectly like sheened off the top. And then Gavin, I can't remember if it was Gavin who also did one really good. And then Link about cut his freaking arm off. He was just like, watch this! He fell like 2 or 3 times.
I don't like the idea of doing it that way because I don't like the idea of potentially pouring it and there being like tiny bits of glass in your drink.
Oh well, no, that's not how that is. I mean, the glass where it's like pressurized around the rim, it stays around the cork, and there's no glass that gets in the bottle.
Still makes me paranoid.
I hear you. Well, I don't ever plan on opening one that way and drinking out of it. I'm probably, if I ever get one like that, I'm gonna pop it and then just like shake it around and like celebrate and shit. That's if we hit like 1 million subs, which will probably never happen, but who knows?
But you might want to have someone on the side with a ready glass. The glass type should either be a tulip or a flute.
Yes.
Although, if you've seen The Great Gatsby, you may notice that they use these. Up until the mid-1900s, people used coupes. That's because, back in the day, excessive effervescence wasn't very cool. So these cups helped actually dispel the bubbles faster. In fact, sometimes they'd even use a small whisk or a fork to dissipate all the bubbles. Now, there's actually an old myth that the shape and size of the coupe was molded from one of Marie Antoinette's buboes.
I heard that too. I don't think that's true.
But it's probably not true.
No, I'm never
Stop
going
it.
to be able to unsee the bubo in that kind of glass, though.
Bubbles became a fancy feature, so the flute was adopted. They can be made from glass, but preferably they're made from crystal, so that they shimmer as much as possible. And the best flutes would also feature a small rough spot right there at the center of the glass at the bottom to create a sort of tornado of bubbles. Anyway, as you pour, tilt sideways so it isn't all head, and don't pour more than 2/3 full. Done.
There you go.
White wine. White wine is best served chilled too. 10 to 15 degrees though, not fridge cold. Use a small glass bowl and pour to about half full. And when you drink, do a little sniff test and, you know,
Swirl
aerate
it
a bit. Then hold it down low on the stem so your hands don't heat up the liquid. If it's not to your taste, cut it with 50% Sprite and add a few ice cubes. Done. Reds. Red wine is not chilled. It is served at room temperature. When you first open it, you're supposed to let it sit for a while to oxidize.
Didn't know
that gives it.
Yeah. I know that, you know, it's like if you're going to drink white wine, you get the bucket out and you chill it. You chill it in the bucket for a next amount of time. But red wine, yeah, it's always room temperature.
More flavor. Although, if you don't want to wait, you can just pour it into a decanter. That does the same thing. To drink from, we want a big bowl on a stick, so you get a full face of the aromas of the grape blood. When you pour the thing, fill it about 1/3 full. That's pretty much it. However, when it comes to wine snobbery, red wine snobbery is at the top of the Maslow hierarchy.
Crushed white rock. It's like almost like a rock quarry.
Oh my god, shut up.
Thank you.
And there's a taste testing thing that people do, and they all go a bit mental, and it's kind of gross, and it looks dumb. But if you think you're ready for the ultimate test, ready to take the one-chip challenge of enology, then here's how you do it. When the waiter comes over, insist on taking a teensy sample. Inspect for color, clarity, and legs. Legs refers to how viscous the wine is. Smell it. Smells like a red wine. Swirl it around on the table, making a loud scratching noise so that everyone knows you're a connoisseur.
Swirling the wine glass is almost like turning up the volume on the stereo.
When you taste it, you're supposed to get it over every part of your mouth, so that when you brush your teeth later, it's all...
This lady actually is the video that I watched when I was wondering about wine tasting, how to properly drink wine.
Yeah.
Then take in big sips of air. This is where you comment on the texture and taste. Complex notes! You yell across the room. No.
Hoping people will notice you and say, wow, he must be cool.
Now, this is the best part. You can just make shit up about vanilla smatterings or citrusy undercurrents. I swear, there's a hint of blueberry. It's one of those things that's kind of true, but subjective enough that no one can really refute you. So make a big show of it.
There is a little bit of an earthiness, almost a graphite clay note to this.
That sounds gross.
That sounds awful.
It's a little bit meaty. It's a little bit sort of rustic.
There are definitely hints here of Monster Ultra sugar-free.
Gross.
If this is a taste test and you're sampling dozens of wines, you want to spit out the sample into this gross bucket.
Yes. That's if you're doing a wine tasting. I'm not going to participate in wine tasting. I'm going to open up a bottle, and it's like, you want some wine? Okay, drink it. It's like, well, where's the wine tasting thing? If you spit that wine out, and because you are trying to do the wine tasting thing, get the fuck out of my house. Like, but it's like, dude, enjoy the wine. Like, if you don't enjoy it, you want to spit it out because you don't like the wine, cool. But if you like the wine, it's like, that is delicious. Like, then swallow.
But the reason you don't swallow it when you're at a wine tasting,
so you don't get drunk.
Yeah, you're gonna be fucking sloshed.
No, I know, but that's the thing. That's why I'm not gonna do wine tastings, because I know that's why they spit it out. But I don't know.
Yeah, I want to actually go to a wine tasting at some point.
Oh, we'll go to someone else's.
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't doing that here.
Yeah, exactly. I would like to go to one though. And,
get too
I
drunk.
mean, I'm probably gonna drink like a good 20 of my first tries, without
Fair
spitting
enough.
it out.
Fair enough.
And I'm gonna be having a good fucking time. By the time I get to 21 or 22,
Like, hell yeah, party time, brother. Hell yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust it. Stop it.
Do not ask the waiter if you can drink from the bucket. It's the waiter's privilege, and he's very protective of it.
Yeah, sideways. That is... Oh. That's the thing, yes. Hundreds of buckets. People are starting to collect it and redistill it into liqueurs.
Gross.
It's cooked so the germs can't survive, but still, gross. Yes. So if you ever go to a winery and you buy a liqueur, just know...
I don't care if the fucking germs didn't survive. It's still got people spitting it.
Exactly.
And that is how to serve wine. Okay, that's a lot of shitting on wine, people.
And we shouldn't get bullied.
But let me do a quick 180. Because
that was 720.
No, it was a 360.
No, he did 2 turnarounds.
But let me do a quick 180.
He's backwards, and now he's back forwards, so it's a 360.
But let me do a quick 180.
Then why is this tie there? I'm fucking with you, dude. It's a 360.
Whatever.
Because overall, wine is good. And a little wine snobbery can be good also. Being into wine is one of the great dad hobbies. One day you will have a model train set in your basement, complete with a little walking path and the grass just right.
No.
The best part about this hobby is building the thing, getting it just perfect, and then making people sit there while you explain the little trains in excruciating detail of how they work.
No, I if anything, we got the basement we have here. I think is pretty cool because we got an old piano over there. We got a recording studio over there. We got instruments and stuff like that people can play. We got a pool table, and we have this amazing home theater set up that we use to record our stuff at. So it's pretty good.
Is that Ethan, by the way?
I think so. Yes.
Now, the fun of Warhammer, that's when you save up for the little space marine man, you take him out of the packet, you put on a podcast with some Warhammer in the background.
Of all the Primarchs, Horus is the best kisser.
And you slowly paint it yourself. And then you argue with your mates later about why the Necrophiles are the best race. There are people that spend tens of thousands.
Oh my god, that dude! I've looked up how much this guy's coffee stuff, his espresso machines and stuff, cost. The one machine that grinds up the coffee beans, costs $7,000.
Yes.
Hell to the no, brother. Hell to the no.
Of dollars on coffee machines and equipment. And then it takes an hour to make a coffee, and it's only 5% better, maybe, than the ones you get at the cafe. Now, I could be Mr. Killjoy and come in and go, what's the point of that? Why not just buy it from the cafe? Why not just get a pre-painted Space Marine? Why not have someone else just
install a hobby.
Trade set? But then there's no ceremony, there's no fun, there's no hobby. Wine is very similar. They're getting a little bit too obsessive about the thing, and being like...
Some lemon zest as well, lemon pith. Super tangy.
That's a good face to freeze on. I was gonna say, when she said lemon pith, I thought she said lemon piss. I'm like...
Lemon piss?
Yeah.
Is the purpose of wine. It's the fun of wine. Which is why wine is better than just some old grape juice. And you fucking wine loser snobs, you know what? You're all right.
The end.
Wine's better than grape juice because it'll make you feel nice.
Yeah. It'll get you drunk. You'll be fucking fat bitches in no time. Drink, bitch.
And that's about it. There's just one last thing left.
Okay.
The practical. Come on, my little nouveau biche. I booked out a whole restaurant. They serve some of the best blue whale caviar here. All right, you did it. You sat through the whole video without crying. I think this calls for a toast. Steady now. Whoop. Uh-oh. I can't believe you killed again. But it's okay. I feel like we're becoming close friends who can keep secrets and stuff. And because we're such close friends, I'm going to keep teaching you things. That's right. You're going to be just like me.
I'm terrified.
I just cannot tell which of this is blood and what's wine. By the way, this is the second video. If you haven't seen the first one, which is on Fancy at the Theatre, go look at it over here. But there's also Fancy, the Arts, on Incognito. That's already live, and there's the next Incognito on its way. Do not forget Story Mode. Do not forget Incogni. And do not forget to dream.
Okay. So there we go. That's that's Internet Historian in a nutshell right there. You know, talking about wine and all the fancy fine stuff in life. Can we just all just agree that wine is fun and can be enjoyed by whomever, and there shouldn't be any snobbery or any, you know, like well, if you're not of this like school of thought about wine, then your lips should never touch it to begin with. It's like, anyone who's like that, I'm sorry, like, grow up and get over yourself. Like, seriously, it's like you want to talk about wine and you want to talk about being able to like know this vintage is truly sublime and it contains herbaceous tones of lilac and Canterbury and elderberry, and also I'm detecting hints of vanilla and lemon, and it's like, if you say so, pal. I just taste wine. I'm like, it's getting me fucked up, and I'm happy about it.
What I would rather do is get the bottle of wine that has the description written on it of what all's supposed to be in it. And then I would like to drink it, and then I would like to see if my brain could pick out what all it's talking about on the bottle, you know? And I don't really care if anybody knows that I have managed to do that or not.
I don't either.
You know what I mean?
I don't care either, dude. I mean,
Because if I'm just like, supposed chocolate? Oh, that's the chocolate.
But that's the thing.
With an orange after... Yeah,
actually,
I get that.
Actually, here's the thing. That's confirmation bias. You looking at it,
to an extent,
and then you drinking it will put that in your head. Mm-hmm. Whereas me, I would want to do the thing where you serve me a wine, I tell you what I think about it and what I taste in it, and then you tell me what's on the bottle.
Yeah.
Because I would like to see if I could get that. If you know, my palate is able to discern that and get that. That's what I'd like anyway.
Yeah, that could be fun as well.
Yeah. But too fancy, too furious, wine. So
I just like being drunk on wine. It's a good feeling. It's not like being drunk on other stuff.
Well, yeah, drunk on wine's a fun kind of drunk.
Super warm and fuzzy.
Yes, puts you in a good place. Whereas if you're like drunk off moonshine, you're, you know, throwing up off the porch and you're, you know, tossing a wrench through your ex's back window, you know, as like a act of revenge. It's like, you freaking bitch, that's what you get for leaving me. And it's just like, bro, she moved out of there 2 years ago. She doesn't live there anymore. Well, who lives there now? A family of 4. And they're on vacation currently.
Whoops.
Well, fuck. Alright. Give me some duct tape. I'll fix it. Yeah. But anyway. This
And
whole...
suddenly you hear from in the family's house that's on vacation. Hey, I tell you what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you to the count of 10.
To get your lousy, lying, no good keister off my property. Gosh. But, alright. Anyway. Thank y'all very much for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Nate.
I am Nick.
Y'all be good people.
Stay fancy.